A Florida State University program in interdisciplinary computing production.
JavaScript. I remember my first JavaScript. JavaScript is really major league, and I'm going to give you guys some stuff in examples in JavaScript, and I hope some of you will try them out because it's fun. And this is, if I can find where we started here, probably this page. So I added today at the bottom of the assignments list, and also linked from our project now, is a link called Above and Beyond JavaScript. Okay, this is not necessary, it's for extra credit. There's nothing on this page to submit for a grade. It's just that if you want to add some JavaScript to your final project, you'll get some extra credit for it. Okay, and from semesters past, there's been essentially 3 things that students like to do. And the number one is always, how do I do drop-down tabs? You know, click a tab and have it drop down and select it from a list. Number 2, because we have some design students, they're always interested in doing an online portfolio. So how do I do shadow box where people can click on a small thumbnail of my artwork and have it blow up into a large viewable thing?
So like to click on it and then it'll come up, or just hover over it?
Click on it. Yeah, but you can do a hover too. It's all whether you click or hover, use which of those. And another one I guess that I have is also, how do I do scrolling images, slideshows, automated slideshows? Okay, so I give you all 3 of those. And the thing about JavaScript, the cool thing about all of the web, I've mentioned this before, is that it's all open. The web is open by design. Anything that people put out there, you can see how they did it. In JavaScript, because it's client-side, you can right-click on a page and see what the JavaScript does. All right, and I'm going to, if you want to do this stuff, you're going to have to do that. And so let's look at the first one. And this is probably the most tempting one to implement in your page. This is a drop-down menu. And as I hover over these items, you see they change colors. Well, these don't have drop-down menus, but this one does. So pretty nice. I mean, pretty. Again, we're missing the side of my screen, which is not good. It's a little better. All right, and I don't know if I have this hooked up to anything. This is from a company called Dynamic Drive. They put it out there. I give them credit. That's all they ask to use their code. So when I click on this, it actually takes me to their page. You can find all kinds of JavaScript online. It says, here's the code, stick it in your page, and it'll do what you want it to do. But you have to do some editing. So you obviously don't want these items in your menu. You're going to have to edit those. And maybe black on white isn't exactly the color scheme you were looking for. So what we do is we can go ahead and view this page source. And actually what I'd like to do is maybe do this side by side. So, I could have done that from here. So let me try to make use of this weird screen that doesn't show the whole page. All right, I'm going to click this tab and drag it over here. Did you know you can do that? So, so what do we have? Our menus here say Home, New, CSS. All right, here's Home, here's New, here's CSS. Which one had a drop-down? CSS does. So down here, first drop-down menu 1A, horizontal CSS menus, vertical CSS menus. That's it. And so you can, and up here, let's see if this is how this works, where we have this line, it wraps, but here's the CSS menu item. Look over here, REL, drop-down menu 1_A. Well, here's drop-down menu 1_A. So that's what ties that tab to that drop-down menu. So if you wanted to make this new menu item a drop-down menu, you might copy and paste this list and call it drop-down menu 0_A. And up here, for the list item in the A tag, you would take this REL, copy it, and paste it right in this area. I can't do it because I'm not in an editable application right now. But you kind of see how things work. You're using the code, even though you're not messing with the JavaScript, you're knowing how to call it. Second drop-down menu is called Drop-Down Menu 2A, right here. Drop-Down Menu 2A is associated with partners. So when you hover over partners, this is going to be what drops down. Can I get the idea? Some quizzical looks out there. You're scaring me a little bit. It's a lot of information. You got to look at it, right? And so that's why it's above and beyond. That's why it's above and beyond. Now we can look. We want to use some other color besides black on white. Let's look at this ddcolortabs.css. Here it is. Anytime we see a hexadecimal number, we're talking about one of the colors. In this case, it's really clear. This is the hover color. And I don't know. So 5.9, the R is about halfway. Red is about halfway. 1F is pretty low. So green is really low. 2.0 is pretty low. So blue is pretty low. So it's mostly red. So is that what we get? Yep. Yeah, it's a nice garnet color. Okay, so you can come in the style sheet and tweak these colors to whatever you want them to be. Wherever you see color index, try to figure out what it is. Let's see, there's another one here. Well, there's the background color is white specified there. Right here, drop menu div A. Here's a border. Here's some borders that are colored. Change it to something outrageous and go look to see what happens on the page, and you'll say, oh, that's where that color is, so I want to change it. Takes some work. So what do you have to do to put this in your page? Anybody care to guess? What files do you need? Oh, I didn't show you this, the most important part. As we're looking, oh, here's the code. As we're looking at this code, this is the CSS, here's the HTML code. Here's dropdowntabs.js. That's the JavaScript code. All right, we click this, and what do you have? Stuff you don't touch. You don't touch any of this.
So that's generated automatically?
No, this was written by a programmer.
Okay.
This is the code that makes this stuff work. All right, so yeah, oh yeah.
So all drop-downs use that?
No, just this one. Yeah. But if you want to use this style of drop-down menu, you'll need to have this code. I can tell I'm just scaring everybody off of this whole idea. No way, man. I got 5 days. What do you think I am, Moses? But someday in the future, maybe you'll want to explore this. So you'll need this code, this stuff here. You'll need to have these include statements in your files, and you'll need those files that those include these link statements link to. So you'll need to have dropdowntabs.js and ddcolortabs.css, those two files in your directory, so that your web page can open them, just like your CSS stuff. Right? I mean, it's not a big deal, and it's fun to play around with. Aggravating if you're under a time crunch, Yeah.
What kind of file do you have to save the JavaScript as?
This is exactly what it's called there. So you just save it. So, okay. So I'm totally lost now. Get rid of this. There's our menu. On this JavaScript page, we have, and I actually say this, click the HTML link to demo the program, then save the HTML, JavaScript, sometimes there's more than one, and the CSS files, all in one common folder, and edit the HTML to suit your needs. Saving the HTML file from the browser should automatically create a folder into which all the files are placed, but it depends on your browser. And so I have them individually here, so I can click this JavaScript and just say File Save and save it into a folder. And it'll save it as dropdowntabs.js. Keep the names exactly as they are. Okay? So let's look at some of these other ones quickly because we're running out of time here. Here's a fun one, HTML. I call this the awesome menu. It was written by some awesome person other than me. You click this, it drop down, and it opens the page over here. So now I'm looking at page 1.2. Now I'm looking at page 1.3. Now I'm looking at page 3.3. Each of those are a separate page. You see up here, it says 3.3.html. If I do 2.1, it says 2.1.html. That means that this little menu application is in all 12 of the pages in my site. I can break it out and do a, into a separate file, which is what I would do if I'm using this. So what does this include? This may be the one I need to be looking at in Firefox. It's because of code issues. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So what if we decide to change, like we turn in our wireframe on Friday, but then we realize we want to use a little bit different drop?
That's fine. Yeah, you can vary a little bit from your wireframe. So this has, wow, this is pretty cool. Oh, there's the link. Okay, I link a style sheet, but all the JavaScript looks to be right here. A lot of this is styled. Yeah, this is the JavaScript. A lot of this is carried out just through CSS, which is pretty neat. Okay, other ones you can do, and they get more complicated now. Oops. Okay. No, you don't want to go. Oh, because I did all these pages. Okay, I am going back. Okay. Oh, shoot, too far. Slideshow. No hands. Okay, so this is shows different images in a slideshow, automated. You set the timing of how much you want each slide to show. And if you want to view a picture, you can just click the link and it'll just show you that picture without the slideshow. The transition is set on this. It's not that fancy. You can do slideshows online. You'll find dozens of different slideshows that give you tons of options. Sometimes, usually, you have to pay for them. This is a very simple one. It does it all. I think there may be ways. Yeah, you can't set the transition type in this. But you use this code. This has 2 different JavaScript files that you're going to need. And if you really want to get into it, you can see the different types of transitions that are available in the code. It gets a little more complicated. And finally, the last one, save the best for last, is the lightbox effect. Now I realize that you can put your thumbnails any place on the page you want. These are just images that are put on the page, but you can put a div across the top so they're horizontal across the page. And if you want to see one of these images, you click the image in, and tell me that's not awesome. All right, and you can click links. It says image 1 of 4. We can close this, open another one, close it. JavaScript as well, probably a little more complicated. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 JavaScript files and 1 CSS file. So for this one, I actually, what I did was these last 2, I give you a zip file. You download the zip file, save it somewhere, and unzip it, and it'll automatically put all the files into one location. So this stuff you can play with. Any questions? JavaScript in one day. But a lot of people that use JavaScript have no idea what they're doing. They just find the code and embed it in their page, and it automatically does stuff. They call these people script kiddies. script kiddies are typically hacking people that do this kind of thing. They just use other people's code and have no clue what's really going on with it. And it's fine for just basics. Eventually you need to learn what's really going on.
For more information about FSU's program in interdisciplinary computing, visit www.pic.fsu.edu.